I'm not surprised that the High Lords of Terror was scared of Guilliman and what potentially he could unleash, because now we have some numbers about how many Primaris Marines Guilliman has or had under his command at the start of this brand new Imperium upon his arrival given to him by Belisarius Cawl. And these numbers are absolutely terrifying. So let's jump in and let's take a look at everything. Now, the information that we're going to be quoting, that we're going to be talking about, has all been condensed by a user called Pale Tourist. I'll link the thread that they posted because without them, this video won't be possible. A massive shout out for them for doing this research and putting all this evidence, all this information together. So just to quickly bring us all up to the same level in terms of lore, we have to go back 10,000 years because Guilliman and Cawl met, and Guilliman gave Cawl an order to build a brand new army, to invest in new machinery, tanks, weapons, suits of armor for Space Marines, even to go as far as to make a new type of Space Marine. And then, of course, Guilliman had his fight with Fulgrim. He was put into stasis, and Cawl just kept on with his work. And then 10,000 years later, Guilliman was revived, he was awoken again, and Cawl said, here it is. This is the armor I've been building for the past 10,000 years. Now, in the novels, the Dark Imperium series, we actually have a scene where Guilliman and Cawl first meet. And in this scene, we learnt the extent of what Cawl's been doing. Guilliman basically says, you have given me an army, Cawl, because there's around 24,000 brand new Primaris Marines on Cawl's ship alone. And then Cawl turns to him and just basically laughs and says, an army, my lord? I have given you legions. And this brings us to the first quote, which we need to go through now, which really starts expanding on the amount of Space Marines that Guilliman has at his command during his awakening. So the quote is in the background right now. So we've already established that there's 24,000 new Primaris Marines on Cawl's ship, and the quote states, and tailing the ship are behind it in perfect formation were a dozen transports shaped like ignots of metal. The ships I brought with me contain 5,000 warriors each, all currently asleep. Cawl went on. Upon Mars, many times these numbers still slumber, and in other places I was careful to cache them away, you see. Some envy me so much they want me dead, and all of my works burned. Can you believe that? He affected a wounded air. These are merely my demonstration models, enough to make a significant impact, I hope, on you and my esteemed Lords of Terror. Enough to begin your war, but I assure you, I also have enough that you might finish it. So this basically gives us the numbers that Guilliman has 84,000 Space Marines at his disposal right at the start of his awakening, of him meeting Belisarius Cawl and his great work, because 5 times 12 from the ships equals 60,000, add the 24,000 Marines on Cawl's ship equals 84,000 Space Marines. But this is just the tip of the iceberg, because Guilliman is about to be reinforced a whole lot more. Now hold on to your butts, because this is where it starts to go insane. So again, to bring this to light is another quote in the background. This is about Guilliman taking command, and it states, you'll be given a direct command of one of these units at chapter strength within a larger cohort of 5,000, further organized into a battalion of 2 cohorts, 4 of which shall make a brotherhood. So doing the maths again, a brotherhood equals 40,000 Space Marines. We've gone to chapters to brotherhoods now. Chapters hold 1,000. A brotherhood is basically a legion. It's 40,000 Space Marines. And then we learn there are 9 brotherhoods who have been activated. Again, the last quote to go over, this is from the Dark Imperium novel. The woman had a choice either to sit down or press on with her argument. Bravely, she chose the latter. You have done this before, some say the 9 brotherhoods of the unnumbered sons were legions in all but name. Now, these are just the unnumbered sons. We actually do have a percentage that have gone out to chapters to reinforce them, like Marines that went to the Blood Angels, the Imperial Fist, the Black Templars, the Salamanders, the Crimson Fist. You know, some chapters who were vastly undermanned by Space Marines. This is not counting and taken from the 9 brotherhoods. And with the math from this, which has been done by Pale Tourist, the estimate is there is around 564,000 Primaris Marines at Guilliman's disposal at the start. That's counting the 9 brotherhoods. That's counting the 84,000 that Guilliman got right at the start. Adding all them together, over 500,000 brand new Primaris Marines ready to go, ready to be put into Crusade fleets, fight the enemies of the Xenos, the Heretic, the Mutant, everything like that. Now, of course, what has happened since then, I'm sure that a lot of casualties have been taken with the Great Crusades. We know we've had Crusade fleets literally destroyed with like Angrons, Murderkers, and stuff like that. But there's also details about, as I stated at the start of the video, that Belisarius Cawl has mass vaults of these Primaris Marines on Mars, other planets, sleeper ships stored around the galaxy. This is literally just the tip of how many Space Marines the Imperium has at its disposal now. Or should I say Guilliman has at its disposal. So that's why he said at the start of the video, you can understand why the High Lords were so judgy about Guilliman having all this power. Because the last time someone had this power under their command was Horus. And Horus had the Horus Heresy. The Imperium nearly died at the fingertips of his madness. So you can see why people are scared of Guilliman having this much power. Now, we do know that, again, a lot of these chapters have probably been reinforced now. The Unnumbered Sons, the Brotherhoods, I say a lot of them are not at full strength. They're no longer at 40,000 Space Marines. We have gone back in time with the lore. Like during 8th edition, it was at the end of the Great Crusade. It was at the end of the Indomitus Crusade, but now in 9th edition and 10th edition, we've gone back to the start of the Indomitus Crusade. So technically, the Unnumbered Sons are still around and they're still operating, but the Custodes sending like chapters out to be reunited with other chapters, and you know what they call torch fleets and stuff like that to reunite. I'm going to say Guilliman probably doesn't have that many to command under him. Technically, everyone is under Guilliman's command, but there's some chapters out there, the Emperor's Spears, who dislike Guilliman and his ways, even though they're from his gene seed. So not everyone is going to side with Guilliman if Guilliman did decide to, I don't know, let's say go against the Imperium and its foundations and stuff like that. I'm not saying there's going to be a civil war or anything like that. I'm just saying that everyone is not going to side with Guilliman, but he does have a healthy amount of Space Marines that will side with him, and that probably could destroy the Imperium or take out any Imperial office within a click of a finger. Simple like that. He has that power under his command now. Now, just before we end the video, I want to talk about numbers as a whole in Warhammer 40,000. 500,000 Space Marines. Let's just say for mad reasons, Cawl has anywhere between 500,000 to 1 million of new Space Marines, right? That's what he created. Even 1 million Space Marines is like a drop in the ocean in terms of fighting against all the threats in the galaxy. The new Tyranid invasion that's coming in the fourth Tyrannic War. You've got Chaos splitting the galaxy in half. The Tau encroaching in the center of the Imperium now, fighting the Blood Angels. You've got the Orcs forming massive wars because the Imperium's been broken up and no one can stop them. Chaos, strongholds everywhere. We need these reinforcements, but I'm not saying that this is going to be, okay, we've won. We've won because we've got 1 million new Space Marines. The galaxy is so big and so vast, 1 million Space Marines can be lost in a blink of an eye. It's just nice to know that we do have potential reinforcements in certain areas where we need them. Again, the Indomitus Crusade fleet's going out and reinforcing and fighting to try and take back some of the major cities, major forge worlds that have been lost to the Chaos powers. I think this is where the reinforcements are going, and we're probably going to see in the wider environment that the forces of Chaos, the forces of these Xenos, have really benefited from the Great Rift more than the Imperium and Belisarius Cawl itself making these new Primaris submarines, because the amount of planets, the amount of resources that are up for grabs now, where we just can't reinforce at this moment in time, have all been taken by them, and they've grown more powerful than ever. So it's not just the Imperium increasing the numbers, it's everyone who's increasing their numbers in this endless galaxy of war. Right, that's enough waffling from me. Thank you for coming. Thank you for watching. What do you think? Is Guilliman got the power? Right? Can he do this? Can he click his finger and exterminate what he wants to exterminate in terms of imperial governance and stuff like that? Let me know down in the comments down below, and we'll have a nice little chat down there. Thank you for coming, thank you for watching, and thank you, Pale, for this amazing write-up, dude. It's mind-blowing to see these numbers put on paper, so thank you so much. See ya, have a great day, and bye-bye.